Today's video, I'm going to be talking about life after lockup. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yo-sha and I'm your go-to girl for all things real. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about life after lockup. I wanted to come back and try to do reactions / commentary to the season because I've been watching this show since it premiered and I love it. If you have been a subscriber of mine or if you just come across my channel before, you know that I actually have been in similar situations in my prior years. I'm gonna link that playlist above. Y'all, I always joke and say that if this show would have been around a few years ago, your girl could have been on the show too. But anyway, I'm gonna get into what happened in the first episode, give y'all my opinion, and if you love the show as well, feel free to comment down below with anything that you noticed from the show. Now, I want to give you the spoiler alert. I'm going to be talking about specifics, but I gave it a few days, so hopefully you have watched it. So, the season premiere pretty much left where we ended with Love After Lockup. So, it opens with Shawn, and he's in the apartment, and Destinee has disappeared on him. He doesn't know where she is. And she's left this pregnancy test box in the trash. And the producers show up to film and she's not there. So he's just kind of like, I don't know where she is. When he finds the box, he kind of puts two and two together that, you know, she might be pregnant. She thinks she's pregnant. But we didn't really go back to Shawn. And we do see him try to call her and she's not answering, and she just kind of took her stuff and got on with his car and his credit card. So then we go into the scene with Michael. And Michael has on this big teddy bear suit. He is coming to surprise his daughters because he felt like he wasn't able to get the time with his daughter for the first birthday party. So Aviana and Rain are there with Sarah. She's there with her boyfriend Malcolm, and Malcolm is about to leave and go get breakfast for everybody. So Malcolm is heading out and showing up at the breakfast spot at the same time that Michael pulls up in this bear outfit. Sarah left her door wide open. I don't know why she didn't lock her door. I guess because she just thought her boyfriend was going to come back. And Malcolm is not anticipating this arrival of his boy. Michael shows up, walks through the door, and puts on this bear act to surprise his daughter. And, you know, it's cute, but it's kind of like, why are you here? Sarah looks like she's frustrated, but deep down, I feel like she's kind of glad that he's there. She is not setting boundaries. I think that she's not setting boundaries, expectations, and she's still putting her emotions in it. It's very clear. She doesn't really confront Michael or disrespect him or anything, but when Malcolm gets home, Malcolm kind of addresses it, but that's shown in the next clip. Hey y'all, I know I look different. I've been filming all morning, but I took a break to edit and I realized that I left out a part, so I wanted to insert it here. When Malcolm returned back with the breakfast, he comes into the living room and Michael's there in the bear suit, and it's awkward. Like, we can feel it, they can feel it. It's just an awkward situation. Malcolm handles it with grace though, and Michael does to an extent. Like, he's kind of low-key mature about it, but Michael does not acknowledge Malcolm. So Malcolm, trying to be the bigger person, initiates the conversation with him and says, hey, I'd like to talk to you. And Michael goes over and they're sitting there at the table being civil. But Malcolm comes through with the questions, okay? Like, he has a way with wording his questions that lets you know that he is not as clueless as they seem to have made him appear to be in the other episodes of Love After Lockup and such. So first he starts off just by asking, you know, hey, why did you leave the party? Which I felt like that was a good question to ask. And Michael basically just says, I didn't feel like that was a good time for me to meet you. It was about my daughter. Honestly, I think Malcolm was really trying to get information from Michael so he could put two and two together for how he was already feeling about Sarah, because Sarah was acting weird. And Malcolm is not in denial about what he is seeing. So he asked Michael because he had an opportunity, because Sarah is not telling him everything. You get what I'm saying? So the conversation continues, and like I said, Malcolm handles it with grace. Malcolm is like, okay, well, I know that Sarah was trying to set something up for us before, but you were kind of busy, which is such a respectful and polite way of saying that you were ignoring her calls and being a deadbeat. So we couldn't meet before the birthday party. And you showed up kind of expecting things to be like they've always been, and I was there. So, you know, I'm politely introducing you because I think that we're getting serious. But hey, you know, I think Sarah fumbled the ball, honestly, when it came to that whole party situation. She made it drama by trying to come outside and say, you know, by the way, I'm seeing somebody. I feel like she could have handled it a little bit differently. She could have texted him and said, I'm dating somebody. Or she could have set boundaries without making it all awkward. To me, I felt like Sarah was still kind of being a little bit selfish, trying to have her cake and eat it too, trying to use Malcolm to kind of make Michael jealous because she wanted to get under his skin for the first time because he's done so much crap to her. And I think she's still mad about the kids, but I still feel that there's feelings there for Michael. And I think that Malcolm is seeing that too. But anyway, Michael and Malcolm stopped speaking after Malcolm was like, oh, so what's going on basically with the court cases, with the custody and the divorce? He didn't say it like that, but that's what he was getting at. And Michael wasn't here for it. So he was like, where's my pretty girl? I'm about to get my pretty girl. Meaning that he's done talking to him. And then when we get to the confessional, we hear cocky Michael. That's basically on some, if I want Sarah, I can have her. I can make her dump this guy. And when you see the previews of the upcoming episodes, you kind of see like Sarah and Michael appear to be flirting again. And I'm just like, Sarah, please don't lose a good guy over Michael. Michael does not really care about anybody but himself. I used to be heavily on Team Megan because I really thought that was something real. But when I saw him show up with Maria, at that point, I realized that he was just not really relationship type for nobody. He's a Sagittarius anyway, but he's just not at that level where he's really trying to be in a serious relationship with somebody. Well, I really liked was when Michael left, and it was later on that night, and Malcolm called Sarah out on her stuff. Like, he called a spade a spade. I tweeted this, and y'all, it got so many loves. I'm about to put it on the screen because before this, Malcolm hadn't really been direct with Sarah, and I was just so proud to see him say, like, look, you basically need to figure out what you want to do. You're going to have to set some boundaries here because you can't have both. Like, I understand it's hard. You still have emotions tied, but you got to make more of an effort to get over this. And I'm willing to be here, but I'm not going to be a fool. That's what I heard. He didn't say it all like that, but he was basically letting her know, like, the way that this went down shouldn't have happened. Like, and I said this, and people agree with me on Twitter. Like, y'all need to follow me on Twitter. If you're over your baby father, you set boundaries with your baby father. If it's really just about co-parenting, there has to be co-parenting boundaries. There's no reason for this man to be texting you late at night talking about he finna come to the house. The last time you did that, y'all had sex. And you thought you were pregnant again. So that type of stuff, that don't need to be happening. If you are letting that same stuff happen, Michael still think he got control on you, and he done said that. And that's why Malcolm got frustrated. And then Sarah got all defensive and started with talking with her thick accent. You know how she be doing, trying to sound like she urban or whatever. And she's like, well, no, I'm emotional when it comes to my kids. And da-da-da. No, you're emotional, period, because you're still not over it. Like, you're in counseling for this man. You still talking about this man. When you talk about this man anytime, whether you talking to him, whether you talking to the confessional people or Malcolm, like, the emotions are clear. And that's okay. You just had the baby a year ago. Nobody's expecting you to be over this in 12 months. It takes time. But be fair to Malcolm. Like, he seemed like a good guy. He seemed like he's trying. I hope he take care of his own kids. I see him sitting there rocking your crying baby, and you said he had his own kids. Don't leave one deadbeat to go to another deadbeat. But don't just use Malcolm as a pawn, like, or as a placeholder to try to get Michael's attention. Because it's working. This is the first time I seen Michael show attention since the first season when y'all had them matching hubby and wife king and queen shirts on. But at the same time, like, you don't deserve someone like Michael, whether y'all are married or not. Like, he has embarrassed you and cheated on you and mistreated you, and it's not fair for you to give up your new happy relationship with a guy that's solid because your baby daddy wants to come back. Like, no, he don't deserve it, and you don't deserve it, but you got to know that. So that's what I wanted to say. I could not put this video together without putting that in there. I felt like that was super important. Some of the other stuff I might have left out as you continue to watch. It's not essential for you to understand what happened, but that right there, that was like one of my favorite moments. And they did save that moment for the end. When I started filming this, I was filming it kind of like in the order of how the episode went, but then I realized it just makes more sense to talk about it all together and just clump it in groups. So yeah. Continue watching the video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And let me know if you want to see more videos like this. If you want to catch live comments from me about the show while it's on, then follow me on Twitter. All right. Keep watching. Then we get over to Scott and Lindsey. Scott is preparing Molly Grace's room, and Molly Grace loves her room and everything. And Lindsey is basically about to get ready for a modeling opportunity because she wants her own money. She wants her own independence. She doesn't just want to depend on Scott. I think that Scott doesn't necessarily want her to feel independent because he has a fear that she will up and leave him. She's saying that she's not feeling as connected to him, and it looks like she's kind of waiting for her girlfriend to come home. She's trying to get her girlfriend in there, and she still hasn't told Scott that she has a girlfriend. She's still passing her girlfriend off as a friend. And Scott also is mentioning that they have kind of lacked in intimacy. They haven't really been sleeping in the same room, but he's trying to like play nice because he's trying to keep the peace. She prepares for the modeling opportunity. He has to give her a ride there, but he's giving off very much overprotective, fatherly type vibes rather than like boyfriend type vibes. Then we get over to Shavel. And honey, Shavel's situation done went from 0 to 100 real quick. When we ended Love After Lockup, Quaylon had told Shavel that he is there, he is choosing her, he wants to be there with her, but he is not trying to get married. Shavel was trying to really, really push, I should have my ring already. I'm ready to get married. She just went over the top. She done bought this man a car, helped him out in so many ways, clothes, the whole shebang. And we opened up the first episode with drama. Like, apparently she went through his phone while he was asleep, found that he was cheating on her, sleeping with another woman, and she also went through his Facebook Messenger messages, and it just looked like he'd been living his single life while living there in a relationship with her publicly. So she is angry. She is like up here. And she calls the girl that she saw in the phone because the producer's like, well, do you want to call the girl? And instead of listening to what the girl had to say, she was just like at 100. Who is this? And you calling him on the phone that I bought him and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, girl, you just played yourself. Because it's like the other woman don't care who phone it is. She only caring about her clout. Any woman that's messing with a man and she don't know that the man is in a relationship, she hurt just like you hurt because she done got played. Or if she done seen Quaylon on TV, she's only messing with Quaylon for clout because he's on TV. And I feel like a lot of these stars, when they do their cheating and stuff, they get so caught up in the attention and the followers and the clout that they kind of forget, like, you're on TV, it's gonna come to the light, whether they expose you to WeTV themselves or your significant other find out, and then you end up messing up a good thing. But I feel like I saw this coming, and it sucks. I don't know where we're gonna go from this because she put him out. I'm hoping this is not a repeat of Tony and Angela with the whole Shavel thing, but we'll see. Honestly, with the Quaylon situation, I felt like he didn't know what he wanted from the beginning. After being in jail for 12 years, he was still trying to figure himself out. He didn't have no job. He didn't have no, like, nothing for himself. And it's like his mom trying to pull him home in Texas. She's trying to pull him there in Kansas and make him be a father. And as much as Shavel was saying, my daughter calls him daddy, my daughter calls him daddy, it's like, I know she says she didn't ask him to call him daddy, but it's kind of like, where would she get that idea to call him daddy for if you would just had her calling him Quaylon or had her calling him something else? You know what I mean? Like, when you don't tell your child to call someone dad, yes, sometimes they will call them dad if they see them in that light. But I'm just not really understanding how she would have seen him as a dad unless Shavel kind of hyped him up to some extent. So I definitely understand her frustration and her not wanting him there and her feeling like, my daughter has grown an attachment to you. But in reality, it's not even just her daughter. Like, she's grown an attachment. She's been waiting for this man for over 2 years, and he playing games. It's not just about her daughter. Also, I feel like he's just not there mentally. Like, some people get out of jail and they're there mentally. Like, a good example would be Lamar. Lamar was in jail for a long time too, and he was very serious with Andrea. This season, it seems like the Lamar and Andrea drama is going to be centered around him wanting a relationship with his daughter. I don't feel like Andrea should prevent him from having a relationship with his daughter. Andrea is very insecure in some ways and protective of her family and protective of Lamar. She associates everything with his family as a negative light. And in this season, we got to see why Lamar was not really trying to move out of California. If his daughter is there in California and he haven't got to have a relationship with her for over half of her life, he is not going to want to relocate to Utah or anywhere because he's trying to rebuild that. Now, in the episode, he opens up his book and he's talking with his daughter Priscilla about all these different things. And it seems like, he's really trying to share with his daughter and kind of give her an idea of who he is. The whole thing that he's been saying is that he is not trying to change who he is. He's accepting of who his wife is, but he's still who he is regardless. You can see, like, he is still in his core very into music, into family, and into his culture and his traditions. I feel like Lamar has compromised a lot. And I'm not saying that Andrea hasn't compromised a lot, because she did put her life on hold. She had to go through pregnancy by herself. She moved for him. He didn't move for her, but he went up there for her. So I'm not saying that they haven't both compromised, but I think that Andrea can work on getting to know her husband for who he is instead of trying to change him. Anyway, I didn't understand that Priscilla didn't know that he had a daughter. We kind of forgot about his daughter. I can admit that I forgot about her because that episode was so long ago, where he got out and he wanted to see his daughter, and then him and his daughter met up with the daughter's mother. But I do remember when they showed the clip how Andrea was just acting really, really like jealous and did not want to be around the family because it wasn't about her. And I noticed that as a recurring theme on this show. A lot of the women that date these inmate men, they have insecurities and they have control issues. And when their inmate comes home and they want to spend time with other people, they get really possessive. And it seems like the relationships where the girlfriends and or boyfriends are more open to sharing their inmate without feeling like overprotective and possessive about it, it seems to work out a little bit better. They're still married and everything, but I just feel like that shouldn't have been a secret that he would want a relationship with his daughter. He should not have to choose his daughter over Andrea. Period. It's clear that he loves you. He's married you. He's not going to choose the baby mama over you. So you need to be secure in that. Then we get to Lacey and Shane. And they go to the doctor's appointment. And unfortunately, they find that 2 of their babies did not make it. So they just have 1 healthy baby. That was a sad moment. But at the same time, I felt like it was kind of a relief for everybody, because Shane still is kind of struggling to get afloat financially. And, cameo money is great. No shade to cameo money and influencing money. You can really do some things with a big following, which is what both of them have. But if you're making money doing sexy things and you get pregnant, you're going to have something to fall back on. So bringing in 1 extra baby instead of 3 would definitely be easier on them. And I have no doubt in my mind that the 2 of them won't get together and still make some money somehow, because they've been doing that. Like, as soon as they hit the scene as a couple and it was known that they were married, you could look on social media and see that they were making money together doing stuff. So I'm not saying that, you know, money is gonna stop, but, you know, I felt bad. No one wants to lose a baby. That's sad. But realistically, it was probably better for them to just bring in the one and see how it goes. Now, I'm pretty sure that there's going to be some drama once John gets out of jail. But I'm not going to talk about that now because we didn't see that happen in this episode. Then we had Brittany and Marcelino. This episode was pretty much about Brittany's 30th birthday. Brittany always gets emotional and starts talking about her past and going to prison and her mother and things like that. And as someone who's lost my mom, I can definitely understand wanting a better relationship with your mom, wanting to have your mom there with you. But I feel like there's a time and a place for everything. And I feel like your company should also be very supportive of you and mindful of moments. Why are we talking about this depressing stuff on your 30th birthday, sis? We supposed to be getting drunk, having a good time. I don't know if they were drunk and that started triggering the emotions and the sad conversation. But I'm sitting here tweeting while I'm watching like, y'all, why are we talking about this depressing stuff on this girl's 30th birthday? We supposed to be throwing back shots of tequila. And Marcelino comes in and he tries to lighten up the fun by throwing the cake on her face, but he gets it in her hair. So it's like, you know, he had good intentions. I always root for Marcelino because he is such a supportive husband. But Brittany, come on, baby. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of your growth. You and Marcelino are one of my favorite couples on the show. But you can't live in that place where you always talking about when you went to prison. Like, it's been like 4 or 5 years at this point, you know, or maybe 3 years. I don't know. Y'all know this stuff was taped. Now, in 2020, they've actually been taping this stuff like in 2020. But the previous seasons were like at least 6 months to a year off. You know what I'm saying? So you're not in that place anymore. You're in a place to do so much better. And I just want you to be happy. And I know it's hard with the stuff going on with your mom, but to me, your 30th birthday was not the time or the place for y'all to be acting like that. And Marcelina shouldn't have got cake in your hair. I'm not justifying that. But the whole reason why it happened was because y'all were in there crying on your birthday. And your friends should have been trying to lighten the mood. They shouldn't. That whole heartfelt conversation, that could have happened the morning after. We ain't have to have no heartfelt conversation that's going to make me cry on my 30th birthday. That is not how I want to spend my birthday. Period. Back to Scott and Lindsey. Lindsey has her modeling gig. It looks a little shady, but it didn't look like it was nothing that was just kind of bad. The guy, he looked respectable. Doug, he looked kind of respectful and everything like that. But Scott was grilling like a daddy. Like, he wasn't grilling like a boyfriend. He was grilling like a daddy. And it's like, for me, a lot of these women, like, if you look at Destinee is trying to mooch off of Shawn. It's so clear. It's so evident. Everybody around can see it. But Lindsey, I can't tell if she's trying to mooch or if she's just trying to have her cake and eat it too. And I feel like it's more of like a plan B. Like, I could see that Lindsey could really be an influencer type that would make money. And she's not just trying to have Scott's coin. She wants nice things. She wants him to spoil her and her daughter. But she's also okay with doing her own thing. And I think that that's a good thing. You don't need to just solely depend on this man's money. You need to have your own hustle. Don't be just a deadbeat. My problem more so is her kind of having her cake and eating it too with the girlfriend. I think, what's the girlfriend? Is the girlfriend's name Ava Rose? Y'all, I don't know. That's probably not right. But y'all know what I'm talking about. She has a girlfriend and it's kind of like pulling on both of their heartstrings at the same time. She has not told Scott, and she's agreed to like get this girl to basically move in. And I don't think that's really fair to Scott, but we'll see how that plays out. That's where we ended up though. Lindsey got him to agree to let her move in and get on her feet, but really Lindsey trying to get this girl in her bed. And I think Scott went through her things. I might have missed that part. I guess I have to rewind and catch up. But, you know, Twitter will catch you up real quick if you watch it while it's premiering. Like, the tweets will let you know. Scott has been being overprotective. I think deep down, Scott is still dealing with the loss of his son, which everybody knows that if you lose a child or a parent, it's like the worst thing ever. And in a way, he's still protective over Lindsey because he wishes he could have been more protective over his son. And that's where that overprotective, overbearingness comes from. And and that's why he doesn't have that trust also, because in the last Love After Lockup season, he found her writing about her plan to like financially succeed on a man, and so now he's feeling like she might be plotting on him, and he has every right to. I mean, y'all are on Love After Lockup. At this point, it's a no-brainer that some of these people are just out to con. Let's see. And then, okay, we go to Destinee. We go to Destinee, and Destinee is like snapping, and I don't give a blah. And then she's on the phone with her mom, and her mom is like basically encouraging her to go to the hospital. But before that, like, her mom kind of irked me a little bit. I feel like her mom and her sister are both kind of fake. But I mean, family is going to be fake, period. Family is going to know what's up, and they're not going to tell the significant other. They know Destiny's not really 100% on Shawn. But in Shawn's face, they're all like, oh, let me give you a hug. Oh my gosh, you're going to propose. But they already know that Destinee is not really for this man. And she's on the phone, and she's like, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to stay in hell, or are you going to stay? She's like, oh my gosh, Destinee, can you be pregnant? See, sis, that's the thing. Destinee is painting out Shawn to be this awful man, but Shawn is really not this awful man. He did lie about some things, and I'm not condoning that he lied about having 6 kids and that he was not completely honest about his relationship with his children's mother, Kelly. But I can clearly see that he is trying. Like, he's giving you his credit card. He put $50,000 up for you. He let you move in. He's letting you do pretty much whatever you want. And he's being supportive of you, even though you treat him crappy. You talk to him any kind of way. And you basically was trying to cheat with a girl as soon as you got his credit card. So she painted this negative light out. And then I feel like her sister and her mom are just like encouraging it. But then you leaving out parts like you still sleeping with this man. Now you might be pregnant. And you sit here making it seem like you hate him, but y'all be doing it too. So Destinee is young. She's selfish. I don't really care for her character at all. And I feel like she is definitely Shawn's karma. I don't believe that he should have to be with Kelly if he doesn't love her, but for him to leave a woman that he has 6 children with and choose this woman over his kids, it really bothers me. And Kelly, of course she still loves that man. Of course she wants to be with the man that she has 6 kids with. 6 kids, at some point one of these kids is still very young, so y'all been messing with each other. That's obvious. But for some reason he doesn't want his baby's mother, and that's fine. But I just feel like everything about this is toxic. And if Destinee is pregnant, it's going, whew, child, Lord Jesus be offense, because it's going to be a lot. Destinee is selfish. She's not really for him. And like I said, I think her sisters and her mom don't have her best interest at heart to an extent. And it could be that their first impression of him is that he was a liar. I'm not gonna lie. If you sat there and told me you were one age and I found out that you're 45, I'm like, you lied. And then you told me you had 2 kids and I found out you had 6. I'm like, okay, you playing, so I'm gonna start playing too. And that may be what happened with Destinee. Like, Destinee may have actually been into him, but just be bisexual. Like most of these girls on the show are bisexual. But then you lying about stuff, and then she catches you on the phone with the baby mama, and in her head she's like, I can't trust you. But Destinee is crazy. I'm not discounting that Destinee is crazy. Like, Destinee is crazy. Destinee is selfish, and Destinee does not have Shawn's best interest at heart. So I don't know how that's gonna go. But overall, I felt like the episode was good. I'm interested in seeing Amber and Puppy re-enter the scene. I was not expecting them to be back on the show, but I'm excited to see what goes on. Like, I thought that they left old dude alone, but Puppy looked like she gonna bring some fun to the game. If you have any comments about the show as well, feel free to drop them down below. Also, let me know who your favorite couple from the show is. I would love to hear it in the comment section down below. If you want me to do more after episode reactions of Life After Lockup and Love After Lockup, let me know. And I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Bye!